Hello, could you tell us your name and where you're from?
Okay, I'm Martin Trulio from Bury, North Manchester.
And you've built this amazing Millennium Falcon. Would you like to tell me something about it?
Okay, it started off really as something that I saw an advert for, and I wasn't sure at the time how big it was going to be once it was finished. So I thought, well, we'll have a go at it, and I'll get a couple of issues and see what it's like. And got all the paperwork together on it. Was absolutely mesmerised by it. I thought, I've got to collect this kit and get it. So it took 2 years to collect it. Having built previous kits on this sort of scale, I decided the best way to do it was to collect the whole kit first and then build it, because I've built other ones on the go at a monthly basis and I was never happy with them. So yeah, it took 2 years to collect, then I started building it.
That must have been very difficult though, to sit there with all the parts and try and resist the temptation to do anything.
Well, they all came sealed up in bags. So I thought, well, I'm not going to open any of the bags. I thought I'll leave them, and I just collected the whole lot. And
so restrained of you, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
So what scale actually is this?
It's 43rd scale, 1/43rd scale.
Yeah, that's an interesting scale.
Yeah, because a lot of the parts on it were designed around kits that were out at the time when the original one was built around 1975. And a lot of them are car parts, and 1/43rd is a car scale. The seats that you see actually inside it, I believe, were actually from a Porsche 911.
Okay,
so it was built up around a lot of other kits that were available at the time, mainly Tamiya kits, of racing cars, tanks, military vehicles, and they called them plantons, and all the bits all over it are all parts from other kits.
I can notice like exhaust pipes and stuff that are possibly from car kits and stuff.
We have parts here that are actually from engine gearboxes. On the front of the mandibles here, we've got top parts of engines, the cylinder heads. The part from tanks at the back here. We've got inlets from larger scale tanks, air inlet covers. There's all sorts of bits and pieces of Sherman tanks and Panzer tanks all over it.
That's great. So is this kind of like the size of model that they would actually have used to film?
I believe so, yes. It was one of the size. They did actually have bigger ones, and they used a lot smaller ones. And they actually designed the full-size one as well, that was built, I believe, in South Wales, and then shipped over to Pinewood Studios in London.
That's incredible.
So, this was actually the size of one of the kits, one of the models that they actually used on the set.
That is amazing, and it's got like lights and they've got motors in it and stuff.
Yes, there's motors on it. Yes, we've got a remote control key fob for it as well, which operates all the lights, as you can see.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually on display on a wall. It comes with a wall bracket as well.
Oh.
So it's on display on a wall on what looks like a TV wall bracket, and it's been mounted onto that I've had modified because the mounting position is vertical, and it didn't look right, so it got swung through 90 degrees, and now it's mounted horizontally.
That must look amazing, yeah. Is there can you see inside it?
Yes, you can. Yes, it all actually does open up as well. I've got to try and remember because a lot of these parts are held on by magnets.
Oh, wow.
We have that one that comes out, so I just leave that there. And then this comes off to reveal all the interior. So you do have a full interior there as well. Unfortunately, that's not lit up inside there.
Yeah, but still, that's incredible. That's where they sit and have their little game and
that's right. Yeah,
Chewie's lying down over there.
And the back part here, which actually screws down, that's where all the electronics are based at the back end of it. And then underneath this panel here, we have the battery pack, which is 4 AA batteries.
Yeah, that is.
Which are lasting quite well, I must admit. They're not doing too bad, really.
Did you paint this then, or did it come
Yes,
pre-painted?
it comes pre-painted in this sort of light grey colour, with a few details painted in. But it does give instructions how to paint it. So there was 3 cans of, basically it started off with a primer on it, then 3 cans of Tamiya off-white paint, and then started building up the greys, masking off separate panels all over it that took like hours and hours to start masking up.
Imagine,
and then going into it with basically 50 shades of grey. And then after it's all painted, it was then panel washed down all the lines to give you the defining panels, just to separate everything.
Yeah.
And then more masking up, basically starting from the centre in lines, and then spraying down the masking tape, which then just put a little bit of paint onto the actual hull of it, and then peeling the masking tape off, which gives you these lines effects all the way down it.
Very nice.
So yeah, I mean the original one is now in a museum, Industrial Light and Magic. The DeAgostini employed a company in America who specialised in doing sci-fi models. They went in and did a copy of it, and then photographed the copy to put in the magazine for other people to paint it the way that they did.
It's amazing. How much did it cost? Have you said that?
I think it's about £960 altogether.
So very expensive kit, but I mean,
there's
I
a
think
lot
it's
of
worth it.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of detail.
There's a lot of extras now out for it in the way of photo etch parts and add-on extras, but by then you're really going up in price. You know, you've got to be a real Star Wars fanatic to start looking at maybe getting on to £2,000 then to build.
I mean, you seem quite a solid Star Wars fan.
Funny enough, I do build quite a large range of different types of models, aircraft, tanks, military vehicles, and this was just something that I wanted to do that'd be a little bit different to bring to a show. Rather than just doing what everybody else is doing and doing tanks.
It's really, like, that's very eye-catching. Like, I saw it from, like, across the room.
The front actually comes off here as well.
Oh, wow.
So we should be able to take this off. There we go.
Oh, that is amazing. And it all lights up and everything. That's so cool.
I did actually have somewhere some fibre optics cables, and I was going to illuminate all the display, and I couldn't find them. I turned the house upside down looking for them, and lo and behold, I built it and they turned up. It was too late, so they didn't actually get put into it.
I mean, it still is like incredible as it is.
But it is actually it's the Empire Strikes Back version of it. The original one was slightly different to this in the way that it only had 3 legs underneath it. This has got 5.
5.
Yeah.
Right,
so it's the later version of it, this one.